book signing of the 9 Whistle. My name is, and happy International Women's Day. My name is Marcella Simidiras. I live in Montclair. I've been living here for over 21 years. I'm a follower of Christ, mother, an educator, and an activist. I first want to begin by expressing my appreciation for the library for providing this platform to showcase these two amazing women, and for you all for joining us. It is an honor and a privilege for me today to introduce the two women that will be leading our conversation on the recently published 9 Whistle. Dr. Cofield, along with two of her former Enfield High School students, recently completed the 9 Whistle, which was published in the University Press of Mississippi's Margaret Walker Alexandra series in African American Studies. Titles in this series offer new perspectives on African American history, literature, and art and politics. Dr. Cofield is a retired educator with deep roots in Enfield, North Carolina, where she was a high school teacher for 12 years. She also taught at Livingston College and Rutgers University. Dr. Cofield worked in the New Jersey Department of Education's Office of Equal Educational Opportunity for 17 years. This office guided New Jersey school districts in the implementation of state and federal equity laws. She produced two award-winning documentaries, The Brick School Legacy, 2003, and The 9 Whistle, 2021. The many awards she has received include the National Education Association Abraham Lincoln Human Rights Award, which she received in 1967, and this past January, she was awarded the New Jersey Education Association Elizabeth A. Allen Women in Education Award. Prior to moving to New Jersey, Willa Johnson Cofield won a landmark case, Johnson v. Branch, decided by the Fourth Circuit Court and upheld by the United States Supreme Court, that affirms a teacher's right to engage freely and openly in civil rights protests. Dr. Cofield is 96 years young. She has a daughter, Tanya Watson, two granddaughters, Erica and Corey, and three great-granddaughters, Malaya, Sky, and Novi. I met Dr. Cofield through the People's Organization for Progress, an all-volunteers grassroots organization that works for racial, social, economic justice, and peace. We have a table back there with some information if you're interested. She has been one of my most supportive comrades, and I attribute much of my success in the organization to her. Kellia Sweatt was born and raised in Montclair, attended its public schools for her pre-K-12 education. She attended the HBCU, Alabama, and A&M University. While there, she joined the Pan-African Alliance organization. Kellia is a graduate of Montclair State University. She still resides in town and is Montclair's leading advocate and organizer, unapologetically addressing most of the same oppressive issues she experienced as a Black student that continues to be a reality for today's Black students. Her efforts at organizing Black parents are responsible for advancing equity for the African American and all other Black students within the Montclair Public Schools. This included the first ever in the state anti-racism policy and regulation, the creation of the Equity Department, the Student Equity Advocate and Assistant Superintendent of Equity positions. The position was designed to disrupt the school-to-prison pipeline and attacks on Black boys. Her activism and advocacy are not limited to just Montclair or education. She advocates for students not only across the state, but across this country, as far as Florida, Las Vegas, and Georgia. Kellia Sweatt is also responsible for the historic flag raising of the Black Liberation flag here in town only last month. Additionally, she served on the Montclair Civil Rights Commission for 10 years. Not only is she a devoted grassroots community activist who founded Parents Protecting All African Children, PAC, and chaired the National Independent Black Parent Association, NIBPA, Montclair chapter, but she is a proud mother. I met both of these magnificent women a little over 10 years ago as I was entering my life of activism. Having them in my life has made a tremendous impact on who I am, not only as a woman in activism, but as a mother and educator. Now I just want to read two introductions that were provided to me by two men that were in Miss Willa's life. The first one reads like this. More than 40 years ago, when I still believed we could save this nation from itself, I was introduced to a fighter with a trail of accomplishments and a reputation to match. Imagine my surprise when that fighter turned out to be a person of resolute integrity, who was absolutely brilliant and quiet. Smiling back at me and extending her hand was a staggeringly beautiful woman with a personality warm enough to melt butter. For a moment, I wondered how such a person could possibly be a civil rights warrior. Then she spoke, and Willa Cofield blew me away. She was known by a different name in those days, but she is the same brilliant, beloved, deadly fighter today that she has always been. With her soft voice and quiet manner, she lulls her adversaries to sleep just before she blows them away. I am younger than she, and I cannot even go to the movies these days. But Willa is making them and writing books. Imagine still kicking up so much dust at 96 years old. In these days and times of constant change, it is hard to know what tomorrow will bring. But of this one thing I am sure, that we still love and admire Dr. Willa Cofield, PhD. I urge you to join me in celebrating this unique and brilliant child of God. From Mr. Marcella D. Smith, Jr., civil rights colleague of 45 years. And our chairman of People's Organization for Progress, he's in the back, Chairman Lawrence Ham, he provided these words. Dr. Willa Cofield is an icon in the Black community who has been active in the struggle for racial, social, and economic justice for more than 80 years. She is an author, educator, civil rights pioneer, film producer, women's rights advocate, historian, humanitarian, and decades-long activist in the struggle for civil rights, human rights, and Black liberation. Dr. Cofield has been active in a number of important organizations during her life. She is currently a member of the People's Organization for Progress and has been active in that group for more than 20 years. She continues to participate and speak at rallies, marches, protests, programs, meetings, and other events POP has sponsored. Today, we are honored to have Dr. Cofield with us to discuss her book, The 9 Whistle. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Willa Cofield. Also give Ms. Kellia Sweatt a round of applause. She was pivotal in helping me protect my Black children, and I'm appreciative to her for that. And before I sit down, I just want to acknowledge that we have a town council person in the house, fourth ward council person, Amina Teller. So thank you for
Testing. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Peace and blessings.
I'm not a singer, but Funga and Lafia, Ashe, Ashe. Funga and Lafia, Ashe, Ashe. We come to welcome you, ashe, ashe. We come to welcome you, our spirits are true. Peace and blessings, family. So as my dear friend and comrade Marcella said, I am Kellia Sweatt, I'm Sister Kellia Sweatt. Before we do anything, always, we're rooted in culture. So we want to start with getting permission to even continue forward. I don't think today I have to find out who the eldest individual is in the room. So I'm just going to turn around and look at our Queen Mother, warrior, scholar, Dr. Willa Cofield. Do we have your permission to proceed forward? Thank you. You all did hear them say she's 96 years old, right? Yes. And sharp as a tack. Beautifully flawless. Let me get my tail up out the way because I shouldn't even be blocking her, right? So, before we go forward, we are going to start with libations. I would like to introduce at this time, Queen Mother Imaku. Come on, Queen.
May I have permission from our elders to speak? Well, thank you. It's an honor to be asked to do libation. Thank you so much, Sister Marcella, for asking me to do this, and for such an auspicious occasion, for such a magnificent person who is such an example to us all for who we should be, what we can strive to be, and what there is yet to come. Libation is the act of pouring water in order to connect with and remember our ancestors. There are a number of ways of doing it. There's a certain way that I do it as the head of my temple, Shenu Kemetic True Living Waters Temple, where we ask for, oh wait, before I go into that, let me just mention one more thing. Can you all hear me?
Yes, but we don't want you to strain.
Okay, thanks. So I do also want to mention the teamwork that was observed in putting this room together and putting this event together. Do you know these plants weren't here part of the library? Marcella brought them. She got what, one or two of them from Brother Nat?
Yes.
Yeah, she brought them here, okay? And then there was a team of women all associated lovingly with Miss Willa to put everything together. And how perfect to really exemplify the strength of women, the power of teamwork.
That's right.
And also the representation of a loving community, which is what we should all strive for. Okay, so in the way that we do libation is by having an elder come forward. Please don't make me come get you. Brother Chairman, I'm going to ask you to come forward. Yeah, I saw you put your head down. And we need a young person to come forward. This, and you can both stand over here. Just stand over there with him because you're going to be pouring into the cup. And why is that? Because elders are supposed to pour into young people. Yes? Okay. And so, at one point, we're going to also call on the names of our ancestors. There are two portions of this. One, the ancestors are those who are related to you. Okay? And then we're going to call on the people in history who are the freedom fighters and all who have gone forth to do such great things for us. We're not all related to them. So technically speaking, they're not our ancestors, but they are significant ancestral figures who have helped us to become who we are, okay? Now usually I do this in the Kemetic language, but I'm going to do this in English today, okay? So, we first say to the ancestors,
Ashe.
please repeat after me. We welcome you
We welcome you.
We thank you.
We thank you.
We pour libation to you.
We pour libation to you.
We speak your name.
We speak your name.
Ishkanu, we remember you.
We remember you.
Okay, now at this point, Brother Chairman, if you could just take the cap off of that bottle and begin pouring slowly into the cup of the young person as you begin calling the names. Starting with your maternal bloodline, call the names. For your family, call the names. Call the names.
Olive
Call the
Pope,
names.
Leah
Call the
Taylor,
names. Call the names. Paternal bloodline, call the names. Call the names. Call the names. Call the names. And now, for those in history who left their mark, we are here because they were here and because of the works that they did. Call the names. 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 Y'all, come on, call the names.
Malcolm X,
We have a full history. Call the names.
Martin Luther
Call the
King.
names.
Fannie Lou.
Give thanks and praise. And so for that, now we say thank you to the ancestors. Say thank you.
Thank you.
And in the Kemetic language says duau.
Duau.
Many thanks. All right, now, the young person is going to take the water and pour it into, usually we have them take it outside to a tree, but we have these beautiful trees here. So which one is Baba Nat's tree?
That green one right there.
This one right here? Do me a favor, because of the fact that he's a member of POP and he is an elder, we're gonna send this beautiful energy back to him. How's that? Okay, so if you can just pour it into the tree. And you see that we have the cycle complete, because young people also, ideally, feed us. Ashe, ashe.